Okay, hi everybody. What we're going to do on this video is we're just going to go through the basic features of a basic compass, which you might use when you go out navigating. Okay, so first of all, this bottom plastic bit here that's sort of in a rectangle shape that goes around there all the way around that bit, that is what we call the base plate. Okay, so if anyone mentions the base plate, they are talking about this plate which is on the base, funny enough. So that's the base plate. Now on the base plate there's a few markings. Okay, so along the top we've got this millimeter scale. Okay, so this is going up to 50 millimeters, so you've effectively got a 50 millimeter ruler along the top. Okay, that will sort of make a bit of sense as we get a bit further into the navigation side of things. Down the side here you'll see here it says 1 to 25,000. Okay, and then on this side it says 1 to 50,000. These can be used for measuring maps. Okay, the most common maps come in these two scales. Okay, so a common map you'll be using on Duke of Edinburgh awards and stuff is a 1 to 25,000 map. You can also, as you get to more wild country, you can be using a 1 to 50,000 map. Okay, so these can be used for measuring distances on your map. So you'll see here you've got the 0 here, and then just around there you've got 0.5 kilometers. So on a 1 to 25,000 map, from there to there, that will be half a kilometer. Okay, just under this part here it is actually goes up to 1 kilometer, so you can measure 1 kilometer. Okay, but just for reference, on a 1 to 25,000 map, 40 millimeters or 4 centimeters, however you want to look at it, but 40 millimeters is 1 kilometer on a 1 to 25,000 scale map. Okay, so you could also use this ruler along here to measure kilometers, but you do have it down here, and again the same you have down here for 1 to 55,000, 1 to 50,000 map. Sorry. So also on the base plate we have this black arrow here. Okay, this is your direction of travel arrow. Okay, we will cover this in some of the later videos, but for now, just so you know what that is. Okay, so this will be all to do with when you start reading bearings and stuff on a map. Now then we move on to this circle part here. Okay, so as you can see, this circle part here is what's called the bezel. Okay, so if anyone mentions and talks about a bezel, that's this circle part here. Okay, now on the bezel you'll notice there's a red N there which stands for north. Okay, and then you have all the degrees of the bearings going around the whole circle. Okay, so if we head off from the red north and we go clockwise, we head around 60 degrees, 70 degrees, 80 degrees. Once we get to 90 degrees it's got an E, so the E obviously stands for east, and then we carry on going through the numbers of the degrees. So we've got 160 degrees, 170 degrees. Once we get to 180 degrees we've got an S, so that's for south. Okay, and it carries on around here as well, so we get 260, 270 degrees, there's a W, so 270 degrees is west. Okay, and then it carries on all the way around back up to 360 degrees and back to the red north. Okay, now you'll also notice at the bottom, so if you look underneath, where not this needle but underneath, you'll see that bigger red arrow underneath with the chevrons going up it, and also the red and black lines going down there. Okay, now this bezel rotates. Okay, so it can turn all around 360 degrees and it will rotate around like that. We won't go into too much of that as why for now. Okay, but just the fact that you know that this rotates. Okay, these lines here will also be coming into play when we start to take bearings off of maps. Okay, so this circular part here is called your bezel. Okay, you'll notice that as the bezel turns around, the base plate stays still. Okay, so we're turning the bezel but the base plate isn't moving. Okay, right, now the one last feature we've got to look at is this arrow that's running along the middle here, to double-sided arrow. So you've got a red half and a yellow half. Okay, now you notice on the red half it's got a little white N written on there, which obviously stands for north, hopefully. So this red part is the magnetic needle. Okay, this sits in a fluid with inside the bezel, and it points to magnetic north. Okay, so where I am at the moment, north is this way. Okay, so north is over this way. Now obviously whatever way is pointing to north, if you've got an arrow on a big line, then the opposite end is going to be pointing to south. Okay, so the white needle here is pointing towards south and the red is pointing towards north. Okay, so these will come a lot more in the next videos when we do some more on using it in the field. Okay, also you'll notice here this little red cord. If you can see this will be how you obviously attach your compass to your equipment. Okay, but for now they're the main features of the compass. So watch out for the next videos when we start to look at how you're going to take some bearings off a map and how you can properly start to use your compass. So if you're watching this on YouTube, by the way, give us a subscribe so you'll get links to the next video, and give us a like if you've enjoyed this video. All right, thank you.